Hi, everybody. Erick Briggs here with Network Kinection. Here back with another discussion around one of our students that has recently gained some experience through an internship. For those of you that have not learned about Network Kinection in the past, we are what's known as a workforce intermediary, which is a fancy way of saying that we operate sort of in the middle of college students and employers to connect them with internships, jobs, and really any experience we can get them towards their future career. Today, I'm happy to be joined by Nigel Suarez, one of the students we've been working with over recent times. Nigel, would you mind letting us know a little bit about what school you're going to and what you're studying?
Hi, my name is Nigel Suarez. I go to Los Angeles Pierce College, and I'm studying for a major in film.
Great, great. Thank you, Nigel. I appreciate that. And I always curious to start these things off with, talk to me a little bit about your studying film. Why did you choose that major? What made you interested? Has it been like a lifelong thing or just from recent times?
Well, I used to be an actor, and I always thought the industry seemed really fun. And since acting is a very competitive career, I thought I could use a backup. So I went for the film major.
Got it. Very cool. And then within film, is there somewhere that you're focused? Is there a specific part of film you're interested in, or kind of trying to learn it all right now?
Well, I think the one that I'm mostly interested in is editing. So that's post-production.
Right. Very cool. Thank you, Nigel. So let's talk a little bit about, working with us. Every semester we get the chance to meet new students. And so I'm just curious for you, how did you come across learning about working with Network Kinection? And how did that all happen?
In one of my classes, my radio production class, there was one day where my teacher brought you guys in to explain your company, and I thought it was all interesting, so I applied.
So we started working with you, and from there, we were able to connect you with an internship. So talk to me a little about what that was. What was the internship, the opportunity that you gained through us? Maybe talk a little bit about some of those main responsibilities and duties that you have there.
Well, I was able to land an internship at the company called Fired Up Broadcasting, which was Fired Up Thursdays when I first got there, but it kind of expanded when I started working with them. And they gave me the task to be a cameraman and an editor for their podcasts. And throughout the time there, it was just a lot of fun, and I just edited for them. I've been editing for them since February, and I haven't lost any motivation for it.
Awesome. No, and I think it sounds like it's been a great experience for you, just in talking to you beforehand, seeing kind of the summary you provided us with. So talk to me maybe about the specifics of the internships here. How long has it been? You might even still be there if you don't mind talking about that. How long has the internship been? Maybe a little bit more about kind of some of the responsibilities, the duties you had there of what you're doing on these projects.
Okay, well, internship is probably one of the best things I've ever been a part of.
Sure.
I got close with everybody pretty quickly, and then became like sort of their family. I'm still working for them, and I will be on payroll pretty soon. So that's really cool. And basically, my responsibilities is as a cameraman, I was there as like the roaming camera, a third camera, because there's two hosts, and there would be one camera on both of them, and then I'd be a third camera just roaming around. But since I moved, I can't be a cameraman for them anymore. But I'm still their editor, and I've been their editor since I've been part of it. And basically, they would do their live podcast for an hour, 50 minutes to an hour. And then I'd edit that down to an entertaining 4 to 8 minute highlight video for their YouTube channel.
Great. No, I appreciate that. Thank you for kind of taking us in there a little bit of what you were working on. So it sounds like you had an internship and it's now turning into more of a regular type gig for you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Great. Well, I think that's usually our dream, right? That we can get a student the experience, and then they can keep working, either with that company or immediately get something else to keep going. So thank you for sharing a little bit about that. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about, how that kind of relates into social media. I think a lot of students are interested in that as well. Talk to me a little bit about, let's take a step back to, the beginning of this, right? You had to meet the company and go through an interview process. So talk to me, did you feel prepared, and how did Network Kinection go about help getting you ready for that?
Well, I've never done a job interview before, but I have done plenty of auditions. So the nerves were already used to this type of situation.
Right.
But Network Connection did educate me on what might come up in interviews,
Right.
and what are the standards for job interviews. So I became prepared for those type of things.
Right. Interesting, because I think going through those auditions or anything of that you probably did a while back, it's probably the same amount of pressure, right? You're having to be there and sort of perform or show your abilities, right, in a very short amount of time. So that's interesting. Maybe a unique circumstance you've been through that other people hadn't had done before they started applying to jobs.
Well, yeah, because auditions actually, I think they're more nerve-wracking than a job.
Right.
There's like 10 people in the room, so.
Right. Small space, everybody's staring at you. Yeah. And I think we talk to students about that all the time, that I think sometimes students want to, hope for this. I'll never be nervous. And most of us are going to be nervous in there. It's close quarters with somebody who, has the keys to your next opportunity, right? So, it's important to remember that's just another person, but it's also very difficult to do so. Kind of a follow-up to that. Did you feel prepared or ready to apply what you learned in this internship to other opportunities that might arise for you in the future? Do you think that the work that you've been doing helps, your future?
Well, when I first started the internship, I had to get comfortable with Premiere Pro really quickly, and I barely knew how to use it when I first got there. But as I worked more with them, I got better and better, and I became more comfortable with Premiere Pro, which is an industry standard.
Right.
So yeah, I believe that I am prepared for other opportunities.
Right. And I think that's incredible to mention too, because, that speaks to, there's classroom training and there's on-the-job training, right? And you can pick up, skills from both sides, combine them, and it makes you that well-rounded person. So I think it's cool to hear you say, I walked in with a skill that I know is an industry standard, and I don't know that I was there yet. And now I feel really confident with that tool just from working. So
exactly.
Yeah. And I think a fun question to ask here, and you're still in this position, what do you enjoy most about the work you're doing right now?
Well, I guess what I enjoyed most about being there was how fast I got close with everyone. The friendships I made, the people in the company is really great, and they're my close friends now. So
great. And I think that's incredible, because one of the things that's, we talk to students a lot when you're interning is sometimes the student will say, I got my internship, right? I've made it, I'm here, just let me get through this. And it's so important that you're developing lifelong relationships throughout that, because you never know where that's going to lead you, right? I mean, yeah, sure, there's the chance you could stay with that company for a really long time. There's also the chance that those are some of your best references moving forward for any other opportunity you want to take on. So it's really important that you build a foundation, through those weeks that you're interning, right? So how did you, I'm going to ask you a quick follow-up on that. How did you go about doing that? Meeting all those folks and building those relationships? Did you initiate it, or do you feel like everybody there was really just welcoming to you?
When the first day I came in, well, actually, no, let's rewind. So I had to edit a show for them that they already filmed as I was hired. So I had to get familiar with the boss right away. Like, he would be there as I was editing, and we'd be talking on Zoom.
Makes sense.
And as like, it was kind of like a test before they hired me. And as soon as I finished, he was like, "Yeah, you're part of the team." And we talked more from there. And then as my first day came in, I met him in person, and he was really welcoming. And then the co-host came in, and then the person who operates the program for their live recording, he came in, and both of them were really friendly with me, and we just became close by the end of the day.
Great. Kind of a combination of putting pressure on you right away and then just being welcoming as you walk in. So
I think I do pretty well under pressure. So
yeah, good stuff. Very cool. Well, I mean, you got the position, right? So that's I think that speaks for itself. Let me dive a little bit into your role. So what you've been doing does tie into social media, right? It's going on different platforms when you're doing this work. I think for students, there's a lot of students who are interested in social media. We talk to students studying business, graphics, film like you are, all different areas that want to do something around social. I'm curious if you could share more info on kind of what skills do you need to work on social media projects, if you will, in a professional atmosphere versus using maybe your personal account, right? I think we've all posted something online. What's the difference between doing that professionally versus just posting on your, personal account?
Well, I guess an advice from an editor. You definitely need to get familiar with Adobe programs.
Yeah.
They are industry standard, and every job in this type of industry requires you to have some knowledge in Adobe. I guess the difference between professional and the personal atmosphere is that in professional, you have to be ready to create what they want. And then for your personal, you just create whatever you want. You also have to remember that in professional atmospheres, they give you a time limit. And in your personal stuff, you could do whatever whatever you want.
Yeah, no, and I get what you're saying there. I think it's you are taking care of a brand that represents multiple people and maybe somebody else who runs that company or whatever it might be. And it's not just you anymore, right? Whatever you put on your personal social platforms is totally different than representing another brand, right? So although you are representing yourself. Thank you. I appreciate that. We get so many questions from students about like what that looks like, right? To do some social media type work in a professional atmosphere in different manners. You've touched on this a little bit already. What was the most important thing maybe that you've learned from your experience at this company?
Well, I definitely learned a lot. I said, I just became a better editor in general, and my knowledge for the Adobe programs just got wider. And the most important thing that I learned from my experience was to always strive to do better, because every edit I did for them just got better and better.
Right. Practice makes perfect, right? The old saying. So repetition does wonders. So I got a couple last things for you, and then we'll wrap up here, Nigel. It's always of course, we're a little biased here, but it's always important for us to be encouraging other students to get their experience while they're in school. Do you think other students should be taking on work experience opportunities within their discipline, as well? Do you think they should go down the path you did? And would you recommend other students connect with us at Network Kinection from your school?
Well, I think students in film and any other major should take every opportunity that comes their way, that's in their field, of course. And they shouldn't worry about how scary or new it sounds, because it'd be something that shapes your future for the better.
You nailed it. Yeah. And I think that, you had the chance to connect with us. Did you feel like working with Network Kinection was pretty seamless from the time you started working with us all the way till, you received that opportunity?
Well, I mean, I started working with Network Kinection maybe a week or two before I landed this.
Oh, so it was quick. So, it was a real quick opportunity.
They were really quick with helping me out. So I really do appreciate you guys.
Great. No, awesome. No, I appreciate that. I was just curious on your experience with us. And, I really got one more question for you, Nigel. And that is, as we wrap up here, what do you hope to do next in your career? What's kind of next? And obviously you're still in this role, but what are some of those goals in the future for you?
Well, I've always wanted to be an editor. So editing in film would be great. I hope my career goes far in editing and possibly make my own production company. And
awesome.
In editing and other film departments. Who knows? The film industry is huge, and I want to be part of it in almost every way.
Right. And you're in LA, which I'd say you're in a good geographical area to get that started, right? So that's nice. Okay, well, I want to first, say thank you so much, Nigel, for taking this time to speak with us. It is really exciting to hear about the work you've done. And also, I think it's really helpful for us as we talk to more and more students to see stories like, what you've been doing. And I'm glad to hear, it's so quick, right? You talked with us in a couple weeks, you were starting and gaining your experience. I want to wrap this up by saying thank you to everybody that, had a chance to listen or watch this video. To find out more information about Network Kinection, you can find us online at networkkinection.com. That's network, NETWORK, KINECTION.com. Or you can find us on our social platforms at NetConnect. Thank you so much.